the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to the podcast. Got a big one for you today.
Oh, yeah. What do you
Just a big story.
Throw it at me. Throw it at me. Throw it at my face.
What's the worst thing you've eaten, Fitzy?
My words.
Well, I don't think you eat your word. Oh, no. What is the meaning of eating your words? The fact that you kind of have to take them back?
You got to go back on something, yeah.
Got to apologise for them. That's not what I'm talking about. I've
had a witchetty grub.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah, and it was alive.
Yeah.
That bursts in your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, like a pussy. It's
It just
isn't it?
bursts. It's sort of like a caramello koala, or that's what I was thinking about as I was eating it.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't think I could think of an alternative for the thing that I ate
what do you
in
mean?
the backyard.
You're finding them in your
house.
backyard, are you?
Yes.
Whatever
yeah.
you put in your mouth.
I'm growing them.
Oh, my God.
That's on the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Loose uncles. I mean, they're a laugh, aren't
Always
they?
uncles.
How's this story? Dad told me this the other day. My Uncle Tony, right, he's not with us anymore, but he was a good footballer. So Dad used to coach the Port Noarlunga Cockledivers, Kate, and they made the grand final. Hadn't made the grand final for quite a while.
Oh, wow. And which position did Big Tone play?
He played half-forward flank, kicked a few goals. In the prelim final, he dominated, Kate, right? And they've made it to the grand final. He was so excited making a grand final, he went out and he celebrated with a mate to the extent that they ended up in Perth.
What? This
So
is
they-
before they'd played the grand final.
This is the week before the grand final. He celebrated all night on the Saturday night. On the Sunday, they decided on the fly, let's do something crazy and go to Perth and party. They had a couple of mates over there, went over there. This was back in the day where you no mobile phones. Dad couldn't get in contact with him. He missed the grand final because he stayed in Perth all week
Hammered.
and partied.
Oh, no, Tony.
Why wouldn't you just... I mean, Tony, we're going to ask you to delay it a week. I think the celebration's going to be better if you've won the grand final.
This is premature, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, you've gone early.
This is over Southern America. So fireworks. We all love a good firework.
I miss the fireworks
Yeah, they're fun.
night.
Yeah, it's so
Cracker
good,
night.
isn't it? The cracker night.
Guy Fawkes.
Oh, it's so good. So anyway, this uncle has decided, there's a few crackers going off in the backyard with the family. He said, why don't we put a couple of the big ones into that old washing machine we've got in the backyard there.
Oh, no.
So the uncle loads up the washing machine with the fireworks, and he decides to keep the door closed by putting his feet on the door. Okay, let's play the
nice
audio.
Starts with a bit of smoke.
Oh, that's
Now,
why
I
you
can-
don't have cracker night anymore.
Yeah,
I
you
can
don't.
confirm he is still alive.
Right, and what about his legs? Are they still around?
But Uncle he's got 150 stitches in his mouth. He broke both ankles by holding that door open, closed with his feet.
It
You
looks... Well, the way
idiot.
he's doing it is the way they tell you not to ride in the passenger seat of a car. You know, when you can be going on a long road trip and you put your feet up on the dash.
Yeah.
That's how he's holding the washing machine closed.
We also know about Gary Goldsmith, who's Kate Middleton's uncle. He's been married
He's a good
4
uncle.
times. He made $17 million from a IT recruitment firm company. He sold it, decided to use that money to go to Ibiza.
Hasn't stopped.
Got caught with cocaine, and he has... I think he's onto his 5th wife now.
Yeah.
There's
Lucky
always
lady.
There's always a loose uncle somewhere.
Yeah.
Ricardo in Homebush, tell us about your uncle.
Oh, yeah, so I got a bit of a story. So basically, my uncle back in the day, back when he was in his 18 years, his grandparents used to, give him brandy most nights and all that kind of stuff to go with his coffee in the morning and all that kind of stuff. So basically, it was like, my nonna was like, it's like a just to get you up type of thing. So when I started turning 18 and all that kind of stuff, he was like, oh, do you want a bit of brandy with me? And I was just like, yeah. And I was just like, okay, this is good. And he was like, we're going to go out tonight, right? And I don't know if it was just the brandy talking, but he could drink days. Like, we'd be out for like 6 hours, 8 hours a night. At the age of like 56, when I was 18.
So
And
he had brandy in everything, Ricardo. He would put it in any drink that he had.
any drink that he could basically had. I don't know how he did that. I cannot stand the taste of brandy. I just said, yeah, it tastes good.
I don't
Still
think
alive?
I don't think that's a loose uncle. I think that's an alcoholic uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring the mood down, but I think there's a clinical description for that.
Do you know what? I do love that Mum was the one that put him onto it as well. Yeah, just have a couple of brandies
Family
in your,
tradition.
in your morning tea.
To
That'll
get him
get
out
you
of
up
bed.
and going.
Amelia's in Mount Pritchard. You've got a loose uncle, do you?
Yes, I've got a very loose uncle. He has a habit of getting drunk at every family event. And at my 21st, he was so drunk that he got up on the bar and started his own little strip show and ripped his shirt off.
Awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
Just what everybody asked for.
That's hilarious.
What's his name? Uncle who, Amelia?
It's got to be a Gary.
Peter.
Oh, it's Peter.
Oh, Uncle Pete. Oh, actually,
pissed
can
Pete.
I add a quick loose uncle story
Yeah,
to
go
this?
for it.
It's not my uncle,
Here we
and I
go.
don't want to use the word loose. It was my ex-husband's uncle. His name was Kevin. It is Kevin.
Yep.
And Kevin, at our engagement party, we had it at the Ivy, and in the penthouse there at the Ivy where it has a jacuzzi.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wowee. Well, at the end of the night, Uncle Kevin was in the jacuzzi and then swanning around in one of the robes from the bedroom.
Has anyone seen Kevin? Has anyone checked the jacuzzi? Did anyone get in with him or just solo effort from Kevin?
I think there's a few people that put their feet in from the edge, but I don't know if it was safe to get beneath the depths.
Let's just say he was cooking bacon and eggs for Justin Hemmers in the morning.
Oh, 2 hands in the air, please, Kevin.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I want to talk about what is the worst thing you've ever eaten.
Oh, my gosh. You mean the worst thing that's been in your mouth?
Well, you could say that. Worst thing you've consumed. 13, 24, 10, because mine is pretty bad. Not mine. Not what I've eaten is pretty bad.
Have you tried that century egg?
No.
That's horrific.
No.
It's hard. You know, the hardest thing is actually getting it into your mouth because the smell is so rancid.
Mate, it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, you
to
need a
even
peg.
think about.
Well,
I
it's
think-
basically a rotten egg, but it's a delicacy.
Yeah, Poe. I think the first time I learned about that was on MasterChef.
With Poe,
series,
was it?
Series number 1. We had Poe and Julie in the studio. This is not a century egg. Okay, this is me on the holidays, and I didn't really know whether to bring this story to the show because it's breakfast time, so don't let me put you off what you're actually eating.
Yeah.
At home, I have a little back step near the back gate, and I'll sometimes just sit there and water the garden.
You got a lawn and
that-
a pool, don't you?
No,
Congratulations.
It's a tiny little lawn as big as a postage stamp, and then the pool's even smaller.
Play it down if you will.
It is. It's tiny. But sometimes I will. I'll go up there and I'll water the garden when I've come home from the gym or something like that, and I'll have my coffee.
Oh, yeah,
My takeaway.
That's your time.
Yeah, it is. That's me. That's
Richie
me time. Takeaway coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I'm trying to keep Annie off the lawn, I tend to put. I've got these little fences that I got at Bunnings to keep her off because she's digging holes in the backyard.
Yeah.
But if you leave her at home for an extended period of time and she can't access lawn,
Yep.
she decides she has to find somewhere else to go to the toilet.
Right.
Okay.
Sometimes that is on the back kind of travertine area. Sometimes if the garage door's open, she will sneak in there. Anyway, I'd finished
I've done that on a travertine as well
Well,
before.
you've
It was
done-
a big night.
when you
you done-
couldn't get to the lawn.
Well, it was
Travertine
last
nugs,
night
have
when
you?
the Blues got up, unfortunately.
Was it?
Interesting, Travertine.
BJ's going to need to find a fence from Bunnings. So anyway, there was a poop hanging around, and I'd obviously finished my coffee and I was still watering, and then I thought, rather than do what I have told you I do sometimes, if it's dried out enough, I will pick up the poo and just put it
With
in
your bare hands,
with
yeah.
my bare hands, because I'm that kind of lady.
Country girl, yeah. Ag school, yep.
But I had an empty coffee cup, so I thought, I'll just scoop the poop.
don't.
I'll scoop the poop up with the coffee cup.
Don't.
Because
Right.
even that way,
Well, it
I
makes
wouldn't be able to
sense.
drink out of that. I wouldn't be able to
Well, you
drink
shouldn't.
out of that mug again.
Well, it's not a mug, it's a takeaway cup.
Okay,
because
it's a
I've come home
takeaway
from
cup,
the gym.
okay.
So I
Gotcha.
scooped it up and I put the lid on it. But I heard someone in the back lane, so I thought I'm not going to go out into the lane. Not that I'm antisocial, of
Yeah,
course.
paparazzi, yeah.
But I thought I'll just leave the coffee cup on the back step and I'll get to that at some point when I hang the washing out, right?
Okay.
So So I'm pottering around, having a bit more me time, maybe doing some emails, and then I find myself
lot of me time.
back in. It doesn't happen very often. This is like the one day in 20 years, Fitzy. Yeah. And then I find myself back in the backyard, and I like hanging clothes on the line, and I thought, oh my God, that's such a treat. I haven't finished my coffee. So I'm not even joking.
Yuck.
What?
So I have picked up my coffee cup and taken, and I could feel there was a little bit of weight in it, obviously. I'm thinking, oh, this is good, because I'll drink my coffee all day. It doesn't matter if it's cold, because I get, one a day kind of thing.
Yeah,
I've taken the biggest swig of my coffee with maybe like a few millimetres of cold strong oat flat white, and
covered in
Well, it tastes better than any coffee around here in Piermont. For sure.
Fitzy. I'm not even joking. I'm not even, and I thought
You took the nug in the mouth.
no, I didn't. It was just because see, I hadn't
juice.
picked it up with my hands because it was wetter than usual. So I had to scoop it into the cup. So it was just through the little drink hole.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
Do you know what?
Was there
I
an
know, it's
aroma?
actually-
Was there an aroma
No,
at all?
because the
or-
lid's
no.
on.
Because when you came in
okay.
here the other day,
Oh.
I didn't know whether that had happened or you were negotiating here, but your breath was terrible. And I
Actually,
thought,
Taylor's given us a call from Wentworthville. Can you beat that? Can your husband beat that, Taylor?
My husband can beat that. My daughter was on his shoulders one day and said, "Daddy, taste this," and shoved her finger in his mouth, and it was her earwax.
Earwax is pretty bad.
it doesn't have the stench of dog poo, but I'll take it.
I caught Hewie. Hewie turned around as a baby once, and he was crawling. We're outside at a picnic, and he had a used durry in his mouth, chewing on a used durry.
Oh, yuck.
And he's been addicted to it ever since.
Some people do chew tobacco.
What did you do? Did you try and put your fingers down your throat?
No, do you know what I did in that moment? I just thought,
Oh, well.
of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course I'll eat that.
No, of course this is happening to me. I mean, life, it just can't really...
Yep.
But
This
that's
is
why
it,
you're
of course.
relatable, Kate. That's why people see you and go, you know what? If Kate Ritchie can do it, I'm going to do it.
I don't suggest
I'm going to
it.
drop a log into my coffee today.
The worst thing you put in your mouth. Kate Ritchie
Can you beat mine?
set the bar very high.
Patrick in Alexandria, you were dared to eat something. What was it, Pat?
It was a mixture of a brownie, kimchi, and a bit of champagne.
What?
Kimchi.
What was the end result, Patrick?
I felt crook all night and ended up going home early.
Patrick, it's a terrible
It did not go
combination.
down well.
It's never been seen before together for a reason, and then you did it. You broke the rules, Patrick.
Liz,
Yeah.
let's go to Liz in Elwood. What did you eat, Liz?
Well, I was. It was after a party the next day, and I took a bite out of a chicken drumstick, and it had maggots in it.
Okay.
So then I didn't say anything because family was around. I went to the bin, and just spat it out, and then washed my mouth out.
Oh, Liz. Well, they're quite clean, though, maggots, aren't they? Are they?
Well, they
But that
clean
also
up these.
means that's been developing for days. That means the chicken that people were eating the night before wasn't good. I actually did this when I used to do dancing out in Liverpool.
Go on.
At the Mary Easton Dance Studio.
Oh, is there any photos of this?
Yes.
Great. We'll put them up.
No,
on
you
socials.
won't. No, you won't. I've
Get 'em out,
had
Heather.
to have therapy around it.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm not joking.
I'm not even joking. And I bought in the old days cans of appetizer or apple so a
yes.
fizzy apple
I
juice.
hate that.
Yeah, the
And-
apple soft drink.
Yeah, and it was in the fridge out the back of the dance studio, and I thought I'll leave it there till next week, and came back but didn't realise the fridge had been off. Once again, it's the swigging that always gets me. Big swig,
Yeah.
and I've swallowed the whole kind of film of mould that had formed over the. I mean, I have guts of steel.
I'm not enjoying this at
You
all.
will at some stage do I'm a Celebrity.
Oh, no, I
You
won't.
will go into the jungle, Kate, and those eating challenges, I think you'll be able to. I think you'll kill it.
You'd
Well, you've-
nail a couple of bull's testicles.
You've already had the audition for it. By the sounds of it, you could do this.
I don't
you
wanna
would
go
be
into the
you'd be
jungle.
bigger than You'd be bigger than Warnie going
Yeah.
into the jungle, I reckon.
No, I'd be
Richie.
I'd be Carrie Ann with my makeup bag, and
Yeah.
everyone would hate me.
48 hours and she's out. See you later, the shortest lived. I love that. Maroubra, hello.
Hello.
What did you eat?
I sculled a goldfish.
Oh,
Did you?
accidentally,
It was a new
Marie?
bar back in the 80s,
Yeah.
and it was called Shooters. And it was after, you know, that movie Cocktail where...
Yeah, Brian
You know,
Brown, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's it, Tom Cruise. Well, this bar opened, and they had this deer that if you sculled a goldfish and they gave it in a little shooter, it was alive. And it wasn't a big fat goldfish,
No.
but it came out of a kind of a manky tank, and it looked really bad. And I was out with my girlfriends, and they said, "Go Marie, go Marie." And what you got was drinks for the night. So I did it. Not many people did it.
Couldn't
but-
do that anymore.
No.
That's on the Gold Coast,
Oh,
Marie.
I think
Shooters
they
on the
shut-
Gold Coast.
I think the RSPC got involved and said you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Oh,
But
absolutely. Could you feel the goldfish inside of you?
in my mouth, yes.
And then when you swallowed it... Yeah, mate of mine.
And then you swallow it and you get free drinks for night.
Yeah, but did you feel it in your tummy once you'd swallowed it?
No.
And what about when it came out
wasn't
the other
big.
end?
It wasn't like one of those big,
No.
beautiful goldfish. It was a little one.
Yeah.
It's a tadpole.
But I got free
basically.
drinks.
Oh,
Yeah,
well done.
we've realised that, but you've said that quite a few times.
Oh, my gosh,
That's
Marie.
the whole purpose.
Did
And that
you
was the
land-
80s. We could do stuff like that.
Did you land a bigger fish that night, Marie, if you know what I mean?
Possibly.
Oh,
Right,
some
well
live
done,
bait. Marie.
Going back a few years. So
Oh, yeah, you do remember, but you're on the radio. Thanks, Marie. Appreciate the call.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
New South Wales State of Origin football.
Hewie, he cuts them on the left. Luai's in the backfield. Where's support? He's waiting for Best. He gets the ball to Bradman. Bradman Best breaks away. Bradman Best with a third Origin try. Straightens up the left. No, that's who scored for New South Wales. The Shields heading back to Sydney.
Oh, my God. It gives you goosebumps, doesn't
It
it?
actually does.
Doesn't it, Kate Ritchie, who's part of the show?
Thanks.
Oh, my God.
I might be a lady, but I still love the football whipper.
Tell me about it, sister. So many calls coming through today on the show. We welcome everybody, 13 24 10, to get involved.
Go the Blues!
There she is.
Friggin' good was it? We
Carol.
ripped them, we smashed them, we teared them, and we brought the friggin' trophy home. Woohoo!
Up the mighty Blues.
Bring a Marindo.
Bring back the biff too, boys. Bring back the biff.
Go the mighty Blues. It was absolutely wonderful last night.
Oh, what a morning it is. Football, it's coming home. It's coming home.
Yes, it is, you fools. I'm talking to Queensland supporters. One man that knows a little bit about the Blues, Freddie Fittler. New South Wales legend. Freddie, you there, mate?
Hey, brother.
Freddie, welcome to the show.
What a night. What a night.
What a night, Freddie.
Can I ask you, because you've been in some amazing wins for New South Wales yourself, but where does that sit? A decider at Suncorp, where does that sit in the history of the game?
Well, I've got to say, I don't think I've seen a game as physical. And I think I sort of got to hand it to Queensland. I thought they're a little bit down on numbers, but they went so hard, and I was just half by knocking each other out most of the game. The game never really opened up and was that brilliant, but it was just so. They just play so tough, and I think the crowd were obviously they always contribute. They were just it was intense the whole night. The scoreboard, they never separated, up until about the 70th minute. So it was a great night, but so tough. They're like warriors.
Oh, Freddie, what a moment too it would have been. I mean, and you're right, it did kind of come down to the wire, even though the score was 14-4. But you would have had great pleasure in seeing the Queensland supporters just start to see the back of them as they wander up the aisles there. See you guys.
Yeah, that was a nice feeling. That was always the intention when you're playing away to watch the home crowd walk away up those little aisles and then just off into the distance as they go over the top of the grandstand.
Just
that was lovely.
Oh, I bet it was. There must be I just think about the sense of relief that you may have woken up with this morning, because there is so much pressure. Let's be honest. We all just want you to win. Do you feel that going into the game? Is it like, in some ways, you just want everyone to bugger off and let us play the game?
Absolutely. That's what the players take into the game, and that's in all the big sports at the moment. They play under such intense pressure, and only the best ones can actually go out there and perform. Although there was some really good performances, and the two halfbacks for New South Wales, I thought, handled it the best there. Jerome Luai and Mitchell Moses. At the start of the year, maybe they weren't even everyone's first selection in the team, but over the last two games, they've been brilliant, and they both, Jerome set up the try and Mitchell scored the try. So, just being able to handle that pressure, that's, when you do that, that's when you wake up and you've slept well. You feel really good about yourself.
Was it fitting, to have the name Moses and to part the sea like he did? Where does that sit on the try? The greatest Origin tries, Freddie.
Well, it was the best Origin try.
Wow.
There you go.
He said
if you want to add to Moses,
Well, are you claiming it up there? Joey's probably got a couple that he will put in front of you, Freddie, but you're going to put it right up there?
Yeah, I think so. That was, you know what, for the style of game it was a brilliant try. Like, when you look at sort of the highlights of the game, you're not going to see anything brilliant. You're just going to see a lot of contact and a lot of great tackles and very committed players and blood and gore and wrestles and fights and melees. But, the best try of the night, the ball just spat out on the ground and Jerome picks it up and beats one player and puts his centre away. But in the context of the game, that was an awesome try.
Freddie, let's compare today to back in your day. I know that some of the wins you had, it was sort of 3 days later.
You took it easy, Freddie, after a win like that.
No, your wife Marie would be waiting by the phone, and 3 days would go by.
She wasn't there, obviously. She wasn't there in the early days. But I remember in '94 when we won.
Yep.
So that was a similar situation. And so we used to get on the bus at like 8 in the morning after no sleep, and Laurie Daly stopped the bus at the early opener, and we grabbed a couple of cartons for the trip to the airport. And then it was straight to the bar, and then we got back to Coogee to pick up our bags, and then we back on the drink. And
Coogee Bay?
I remember all the managers used to be ringing up from the clubs going, are you going to come home and you're playing this weekend? And everyone just kept turning their phone off and avoiding the phone calls. And we spent the whole next day at the down at Coogee together. It was
good on you, Freddie.
Yeah, the good old
Freddie, you know what? You're a part of that team as well, mate. The accumulation of that team, it doesn't start with just this year, but you've been a part of it for such a long time, and we know how busy you are this morning, mate. So we appreciate your time, Freddie. Thanks for coming on the show, legend.
Thanks a lot. Go the Blues.
Good on you, Freddie.
See you, buddy.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Forget State of Origin, though, guys. I didn't really sell it in very well initially.
Okay.
Forget State of Origin. It's Statements of Origin, guys.
You wrote that down.
I did write it down.
That is really good.
And it's not mine. I can't claim that. Jess snuck over. She said, how about this?
I loved it.
Statements of Origin.
I basically have a writer now.
What would be the most famous statement of all time?
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Do you think? It is really interesting, though, to learn.
I have a dream.
Okay, keep going.
Martin Luther King.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
What does that mean again?
Game on Moles. Game on Moles was pretty big on Big Brother.
Flying Under the Radar was also big on Big Brother.
Yeah, Tommy, do you have a statement that you like to throw around? A motto?
Carpe diem was seize the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. But that's not yours. I wouldn't think Carpe diem when I think of you, Tommy.
I mean, if I was doing that, why would I be in here?
Tommy, give us a heads up when you finally do one day.
No, we're talking about this because, of course, you know the term gaslighting.
Yeah.
And people use use it a lot.
I'm still confused to what it is.
Well, I think gaslighting is crazy-making behaviour. So when you might have somebody in your life who is gaslighting you, they're kind of
playing with your mind, are they?
They are tricking your mind, and you want to know where it comes from because then it might actually make a bit more sense.
Origin of the origin.
Yeah. So the term gaslighting originates. It was a British play termed film, and in the film, it's very interesting to watch. The husband starts doing things in the house to make the wife think that she's a bit crazy, and it starts with him changing the level of the gas lights in the house. So she's thinking, hang on, that gas light bit has been turned up. Did you turn the gas light up? No, darling, I didn't do that. Oh my goodness, maybe I'm going crazy. And then he would do other things like knocking on the walls or moving things or hiding things. So she's thinking she's losing her mind. She's losing her mind. And in those days, this is in the 1930s, in the film, she became what she thought was so crazy. He convinced everyone she'd gone crazy and she was committed into a
mental asylum,
an institution, and he got all the cash.
I've been doing that to Lisa
with the gas lights.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Do you want a few others?
Yeah.
All right. Great. Big wig, I quite like because in the old days,
Blatchy's Blues.
No, the bigger.
No. If you're a big wig, you're the boss. Yes.
And in the old days, the bigger your wig, the more important you were. You know, in the old films, you'd see all the people with the big kind of white curly wigs. Think Bridgerton, maybe.
So is it fair to say, with my wig collection in the office, that I'm the boss of this show?
You actually are very well done. You probably know where Bite the Bullet comes from.
Yes.
It's like grinning and bearing a painful situation, a bit like us here in the studio.
It's toughen up. Bite the bullet's toughen up.
But you used to bite down on the bullet, didn't you?
Yes, before anaesthetic.
Yes,
so
when they didn't have that.
Bite down on this, guys.
Better than your finger.
You bite down on a stick? I thought it was a stick. Why would you want to go before? You got to find a bullet first of all and then bite down on this.
Well,
but
you're in combat.
That's where it first came from. Okay. So you were actually in a war zone.
Hey, bite the stick.
Yeah, get the sack, of course. Workmen would carry all their work gear in the sack, and then when you were told to go home at the end of the day and never come back, you just got your sack.
I'll get my coat.
Yeah, get your coat. And kick the bucket is a bit fun.
What's that from?
When slaughtering a pig, you tied its back legs to a wooden beam. This is in France. And as the animal died, it would kick the bucket.
That's French.
Did you see this on Guillaume's show?
Yes, when I wasn't watching The Origin last night.
You were watching SBS.
All right, I've got one more for you. Touch and go. The old saying probably comes from ships sailing in shallow waters where they might touch, they're on their way out, they're touching the seabed, and then they finally get out into the ocean, and that process is quite dangerous, so therefore it's touch and go.
Oh, is that where it's from?
All that stuff. Yeah, well, why? Do you have an alternative?
No, I don't.
Well, this show's been going for, 14 years now?
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
Trying to sail a ship out into the ocean.
Yeah, we keep running aground.
I think we're still on a sandbar, to be honest.
It's too heavy. We just can't get it off. Someone, where's the deeper water?
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about another celebration that's going on at the moment. Andrea Bocelli, 30 years, performing, singing, entertaining. What a man. What a voice.
I never really heard about it, but well done.
Because it's live in Tuscany.
30 years. I mean, it's still not as many years as Ray Ma has done on Home and Away.
Well, nowhere near.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be a bigger milestone that we'd probably celebrate more here in Australia.
Sorry about that. I didn't think to...
It is my favourite type of pasta as well, Bocelli.
Is that? It's not a pasta, it's his last name. He's a blind singer, by the way, Andrea Bocelli.
He's just a singer.
He's blind.
Just a singer in my eyes.
Yeah, he's blind. Have a look at the promo poster. He's got his eyes shut.
No, he's singing.
For a reason.
No, he's not even looking at the camera. He's looking the wrong way.
Is Bocelli blind?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, he's had to because he's anxiety, so we'll have a few drinks before the gig, and he's totally blind.
He's legally blind.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Sorry.
I tell you who's a bit of a stud muffin. Bocelli's son. Very handsome. Not afraid of a lady.
How do you know that? How old is he?
He was in town a while ago, cutting a sway through the Sydney scene.
He's no
Steve Bocelli.
He's no
Go on.
Iglesias. He's no Enrique Iglesias.
How
He's
dare
not Julio's son. Enrique is a performer himself.
Yeah.
But I
Bocelli's
think
son.
Gary Bocelli's not. He's the son's no.
I thought it was
He's
Adam,
no performer,
Adam
is he?
Bocelli.
Let's move on to what's going on.
Okay,
Because
come
in
on.
Tuscany, the celebration is happening right now through the 19th, which is tomorrow. He's celebrating with a whole lot of guests on stage, and I'm just a bit stumped by the lineup because we know that he's performed with Ed Sheeran before, which you would be familiar with. He did the version of Perfect, Ed Sheeran, which was amazing, right?
know this.
So there's Ed. Here comes Andrea.
Sei la mia donna, la forza delle onde del mare. Togli I miei sogni, I miei segreti.
He doesn't know the words.
She's just making them up. Well, no one would know. Cafe Principessa.
Fitzy, that is my favourite Fitzy joke of all time.
Is that 2 thumbs up?
Yeah.
That's 2 thumbs
I
up.
mean,
As we go through the list of the people he's celebrating and he's invited, Shania Twain, we understand that. All right, great singer. Good on you.
Did they do feel like a woman?
I
Or
don't
man,
know.
I feel like a woman.
Man, I feel like a woman. Lang Lang. I mean, Lang Lang's there on the keys doing some...
Who's Lang Lang?
You know Lang Lang, the pianist? Extraordinary, one of the best in the world. Who else is in the lineup here?
Cool.
Oh, there you go. The son is Matteo Bocelli, also joining him on stage.
Oh, not Adam.
No. Brian May from Queen is going to be performing on stage. Here's where I think it gets a little bit interesting. Also in the lineup,
Finally.
Will Smith is performing
3
with
minutes.
Johnny.
Oh, no.
With Andre Bocelli, which I think is a bit weird. Do that in Italian.
What is Hair or Summertime?
Also added to the list, Johnny Depp, who I didn't know was a...
He's a guitarist,
He's a
though.
great guitarist. He's
I mean,
with
he's a
Alice
lot of
Cooper.
things, but he's also a guitarist.
It seems weird that you'd be in Tuscany, Andre Bocelli's performing and Jack Sparrow walks out. Just be weird.
I don't think he's wearing the costume. I agree with you. I don't think if you're Andrea Bocelli...
Are they all mates?
But you don't need... You just want to see Andrea, don't you?
Yeah, you would, but
You
then...
don't need the ring-ins.
We're throwing in extras. Joining him also on stage, the one and only Russell Crowe.
Each day we had to build that road, a mile and a quarter.
That'd be
a black
amazing
snake
for Russell.
would crack our backs.
That's
with some
huge.
poor fool complain.
That's a huge commitment for Russell to get up there with Andre. What would they perform?
Something in Italian. I mean, Russell can speak a bit of Italian because he's
a gladiator.
He's the unofficial mayor of Rome. You know,
And what was that other horror film he did?
Oh, yes.
Where he played the priest. That was one...
The Pope.
The Pope. That was amazing. Then, if you think it's getting weird... I think we've reached that stage of complete confusion. Sofia Vergara is also performing. Bit of her here.
Is she with Yang Yang or?
I hope you're making this up.
I'm not making it up. That's the lineup, Kate Ritchie.
Sofia Vergara is singing.
Vergara. And her
Isn't
friend
her name Vergara?
No.
Ready, set, Vergara.
I mean, and I apologise for speaking that way. I don't speak like that in my own time at home.
I don't know.
People
Tell
listening.
me. Nova Red Room?
Can we?
wow,
Yeah,
imagine
Andre
that.
Bocelli, Nova Red Room would be amazing, Tom.
What a lineup. Vergara.
The front Vergara.
Mm-hmm.
Vergara. Oh, that's what you said.
Welcome to the party, pal.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hewie started his first job. It's daunting, very daunting. He's only 14.
Hey, what is it?
You got to be 14 and 9 months to start working in Australia.
Oh, do you?
And I didn't know that. It took me 3 years to realise because we started him working at 11.
No, what
He's
about
been
me?
paying board. Oh, yeah, I suppose.
You're right.
How do you get away with that, Kate?
No, I don't know. I think the rules were different in the 80s for most things.
Do anything.
Anyway, that's so exciting.
What's the job?
Do you know what? So he's washing dishes at a cafe. It's called Boy and Bloom, and he's doing a great job. But you know what? He's washing dishes for 3 hours a shift, right? He's getting $17 an hour.
All right.
So
as a dishy.
It's been really good to see. Like, he's dreading going to work sometimes because, Dad, I've got cuts on my hand from footy and I've got to go and wash dishes for 3 hours. But do you know what? You can see the reward in his face afterwards, Kate, when he actually goes, okay, well, I've earned over $50 today working a 3-hour shift. Now, for a 14-year-old, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's trying to work out. The best thing as well, he's got his eye on something that he wants to buy.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of a Ninja Creamy?
A Ninja Creaming?
Sounds like a donut.
13 24 10, parents, if you've been introduced to the Ninja Creamy. Now, this is a TikTok craze and it's really hard to find and buy.
What is it?
Because majority of them are sold out in Australia.
What are you saying? Ninja Creamy or Ninja Creamy?
Ninja Creamy.
Okay.
And what it is, it basically... You have to freeze, so you get these little containers. It's like a blender, but you get these containers that you need to freeze your ingredients in overnight. So you can put mangoes in there.
Yeah.
You can put chocolate milk in there. You can then put your Oreos in there or whatever you want to do. And then what you do, it's got all these different settings. You've got an ice cream setting, sorbet setting, smoothie setting.
It's a blender.
So it's like a yo-yo bananas. What was that? Did you see that? Where you
But what it does, it's a blender, right? But it blends... So it blends all the way down the tube and then all the way back up. So you can mix stuff in there. You can... What I likened it to with the ice cream, you can mix stuff in there. It's like a Cold Rock. You know when you go to Cold Rock and you say, I want some peanut M&Ms in there, and you can chuck those in there as well. So anyway, what he's done, he's worked enough to get a Ninja Creamy, and he's loving it.
How much are they?
They're about $300.
Yeah, it looks like a fancy machine.
And BJ and I were so proud of him, Kate, that we said, do you know what? Your birthday's around the corner. He got to $300 and we said to him, you know what? You saved that money. You've done really, really well and worked hard. We're going to buy you a Ninja Creamy for your birthday and you can save that money.
$300?
$300.
Cashed.
Right? So he was so stoked with that. The thing is, though, Lenny comes in crying the other day. Hewie's charging me $2 every time I want to use the Ninja Creamy.
Is he really? What a clever kid.
Awesome. Got him a beauty.
Oh, that is so good.
And I had to pull Lenny aside and I go, well, it's his Ninja Creamy, mate. He's got you there.
So he's kept the $300 from his dishy job, and he's getting $2 on the side for anybody that wants to use the Ninja Creamy.
And now he's having his mates over in the school holidays. He's charging them $2 as well.
Is he opening a Boost Juice store as well?
Well, it's worked out really well for the family because I charge him $5 to use my kitchen.
Oh my God, this is extraordinary.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.